What's up, guys? Welcome to my 30-day celery. That sounds so like blah. What's up, guys? Today we are going to dive into my 30-day celery juice challenge. All the experiences, everything I've learned, what juicer to get, all the things, detox symptoms, serving size, organic versus non-organic. There is a whole playlist of me vlogging this experience linked down below if you guys want to click on specific videos and topics. I go pretty in depth on this whole celery juice challenge thing. Hopefully this video doesn't go on for like an hour. If you guys are new here, welcome to our juicery. This might look a little weird. These are our two big commercial juicers. We are an organic raw juicery out of Northwest Ohio. You can find us, all the links are linked down below. You definitely creep our Instagrams and all the fun things. I'm gonna put this celery juice back in the fridge and we're gonna dive into my whole celery juice experience. I'm excited to share what I've learned with you guys. A lot of you guys have been shooting me messages on Instagram and joining me on this 30-day celery juice challenge. So let's talk celery. It still surprises me that this is like a thing right now, celery juice. When I was first starting my celery juice challenge, I kind of wanted to know like what happens when you, like if you complete this, what happens when you stop? We have people currently doing a celery juice challenge, 30-day celery juice challenge. And we've been getting this question, how long do I have to do this celery juice thing? What happens if I skip a day or miss a day? All these little questions. So I took a few days off of drinking celery juice because I just wanted to see what happened. So right off the bat, first day, I noticed that I wasn't drinking celery juice. I noticed that I was back to chugging water. When I was on my celery juice challenge, I drank, I'm not exaggerating at all, I think I drank 3 cups of water. It was weird for me to go to the sink and get a glass of water. Celery juice, if it did one thing, all it did was this, I would continue to do it. It keeps you extremely hydrated. I started off with 16 ounces and it was kind of tough to get down the first couple days. The first day I weighed in at 152.6 pounds. I didn't have a lot of weight to lose. I drink bulletproof coffee. My inflammation is very low most of the time. The main reason that I was doing this was to really heal my skin and my food sensitivity. Weighed in yesterday morning at 7 days at 150.6 pounds. So I lost 2 pounds throughout this week. In the first 3 days, I was definitely low energy. I was definitely cleansing. Things were changing. I am riding the struggle bus today. Low energy, just kind of blah. And by day 4, I was like, okay, I feel good. Feeling way better today than I did yesterday. Yesterday and Wednesday were kind of rough. And day 4, I was really starting to crave celery juice. So I doubled my serving. I didn't think about food or eat food until 7 p.m. last night, which is just crazy. I had my first celery juice and I had my bulletproof coffee at like 2:30 when we closed up the shop. And then I had another celery juice and then I didn't think about food at all. And it was 7 o'clock and I was like, maybe I should eat some. The hugest thing I noticed, besides being hydrated, it does so many things, and it's not like, it's more so like the absence of other things than the presence of oh my gosh, I feel incredible, which I did feel really good, but it was more so like the absence of, I don't feel like I need to chug water. I don't feel like I need to eat a bag of potato chips. I had no food cravings, nothing. I am totally uninterested in food. I didn't want my coffee at all. I feel the same way about essential oils. It's just things work. You're not in pain. Your skin is clear. It's more so things are working properly. Unless you're in tune to pick up on those things, it's kind of hard to be aware because we're just oh yeah, I should feel good. Whereas normally it's oh, I feel like crap, I have a headache, I'm dehydrated, I have brain fog. So if you're starting the celery juice challenge, take note of feeling good. Oh, I'm hydrated. I didn't have a headache today. I didn't crave those potato chips. It's more of being mindful because it's so easy when things are going good to just be unaware of them. But it's noticing those things that make us feel good and being intentional to do them more often is where we really start to heal. If you haven't tried it, it kind of tastes like chicken noodle soup. It's just very salty, which is why a lot of people use, in their soup bases, they'll use carrot and celery and kind of build up that flavor because celery is super salty. Those minerals and those salts are bioavailable. They're in the form of a plant. So it's not like you're drinking a Gatorade where they market sodium and hydration. You're drinking a bioavailable form of those salts in a plant. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's crazy. My hydration is perfect every day that I'm drinking celery juice is kind of crazy. And that goes from 12 to 16 ounces. So there were days where I would drink 12 ounces, and there were days where I would drink up to 32, sometimes more than 32 ounces. Serving size, I just recommend that you listen to your body. The first couple weeks were extremely rough for me. I think there is this initial transition, this initial alkalizing of the body, and this is going to be different for everybody, which is the number one question we get, like, how long do I need to do this? I think 30 days is a good, safe measure. It took me about 2 weeks to kind of stop noticing side effects. Imagine that you are super acidic. You're eating things like coffee and lemonade and really acid rich, a different word for acidic foods. So the body is going to be adjusting from acidic environment to an alkaline environment. And when we drink the celery juice on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, the body is given a chance to alkalize before we put anything else in our bodies. This is why we recommend not putting anything in. The medical medium guy says this too. You can't put anything in your celery juice. Like, if you want it to work, it needs to be alkaline. And adding lemon juice to it, for example, is an acid. That's just going to completely negate the benefits. I'm sure you're getting some, but as far as the alkalizing, it's not going to work. Even adding ice cubes to your celery juice can ruin the alkalinity. Water can be very acidic if it's run through like an RO and all the minerals have been sucked out of it. Just don't add anything to it. If you're going to do it, try and do it to the best of your ability. Another big question we get is taste. Like, if you just can't stand the taste, quality of celery makes a huge difference. I will link down the two really big sources that kind of spoke to me when I was learning about organic versus non-organic. One of them is a podcast from Dave Asprey talking about how Roundup and these things, like, they're grown into the DNA of these plants. So despite the fact that we can wash them really well, no matter how well we wash that produce, you're still getting these genetically modified, they spray the seed. So it's grown into the plant DNA, so you can't wash it off. Those are all boxes of celery. Quality of celery is a huge thing, and it's crazy how much one batch of celery differs from another one farm's celery differs from another farm's celery. So we've gotten extremely sweet batches of celery, and we've gotten just more mild batches of celery, but never has the grocery store celery compared to what we're getting here. I'm not going to tell you not to buy grocery store celery, because I did it for probably half of my celery juice challenge, but if it looks white and if it looks just lifeless, I don't know, because the price of celery has tripled since we started this, and it's getting harder and harder to find. We had to cut off our celery juice sign-ups because it's getting to the point where it's just not sustainable, which is why I'm hoping to grow, and I'm going to bring you guys along for this whole journey, hoping to grow a lot of my celery in the garden this season. I haven't grown celery, so I can't speak to this yet. Be able to show y'all how you can grow a decent amount and how much we'll need per week. So definitely subscribe if you guys want to stick around. Hopefully we can grow some good quality celery, make this more of a realistic thing, because that's the only thing, besides time and energy you have to put into juicing it, which we're going to talk about. Money is the only thing that's really a big factor for people doing this celery juice challenge. As far as process, how I completed my celery juice challenge most efficiently without like losing my mind, juicing here and juicing at home and juicing, it's too many juicers juicing things. Slow masticating juicers are awesome for at-home juicers because you are able to prep and prepare multiple juices for the week. Masticating juicers use an auger system that it's much gentler than a centrifugal juice. It's run through a blade and then spit against a screen really fast. That oxidizes the juice, and you got to drink it within 20 minutes. So the masticating juicer it's a much gentler process. so you're going to get more nutritional shelf life out of your juice, which gives you the opportunity to kind of meal prep your celery juice. And I have tons of videos on this. They are linked down in the celery juice challenge playlist. So much like our cold press machines, I get this question a lot: what's the difference between a masticating and a cold press? These use thousands of pounds of pressure, get a much better nutritional yield because they're able to press all of our fruits and veggies. Cold press does a way better job at extracting, so we get a really good yield off of celery. Chopping these with a cutting board, but it's just way easier just to break them in half, and you don't get as much water everywhere. The way that I was doing it is I was making 32 ounces of celery juice every other day. So I would prep 2 to 4 stalks of celery depending on the size and how much liquid was in them, and I would use my K&L slow masticating juicer, which in my opinion is an incredible entry level masticating juicer. It's big, it's $100, it gets the job done. Similar masticating juicers are $300 to $400. Currently trying to get my hands on the new Hurum Easy Clean juicer. A lot of you guys have been asking me my opinions on it and what I think. It's a $400, $500 juicer. I reached out to them and asked them to send one over. They haven't gotten back to me, so I doubt that they're gonna send one. But maybe if you guys go shoot them a message, let them know to send me one. We can check it out and see if it's worth the upgraded price point. A lot of you guys have been messaging me about our radiator. A lot of you guys have been messaging me about the pulp getting stuck in the outlet of your slow masticating juicers. Somebody messaged me over on Instagram about their port getting stuck with the stringiness from celery. They have this little tool on the end of the brush here that you can stick right in here for cleaning when you use it to clean. You can just stick it in and swipe out the celery and it'll start running again. Unfortunately, celery is just stringy. It is what it is. It gets clogged up in our $15,000 commercial machines. So I was able to consistently juice 32 to 64. I was able to juice a lot of juice before the pulp outlet gets completely clogged. So just keep juicing. And I would just rip off the whole stalk and put it straight into the K&L juicer. Around 7, 8 p.m. I would get out my K&L juicer. I would grab my 3 to 4 stalks of celery and I would just peel off the stalk. Let me grab a stalk of celery. One decent sized stalk normally will get you close to 16 ounces. So I think the serving size is more so a stalk of celery than it is 12 to 16 ounces. But I would just rip these off and put the whole one piece into the K&L juicer and just let it do its thing. It works great. I didn't have any problems. The only thing that was annoying was the cleanup of the strainer, which I quickly learned to use the opposite end of like the brush or like your fingernail and just scrape it off. It's way easier than trying to use the brush that they give you. All in all, like longest that process ever took me was like 30 minutes. For juicing 2 16-ounce celery juices and the cleanup, it was never that much of a headache. Much rather do the masticating juicers take a little bit longer than a centrifugal juice, a lot longer actually. I did a whole video on this slow masticating versus centrifugal. The centrifugal juicer takes like 30 seconds. The masticating juicer takes 2 to 3 minutes to juice the same amount of celery. I'm willing to spend a couple extra minutes to get a few extra juices and not have to get the juicer out the following morning and juice this every morning. So I'd rather make my juice at night and make a few of them than having to get a centrifugal juicer out every morning and do it quickly. That's just my preference. I know a lot of people that love the centrifugal juicers. You guys comment on all these videos, and I love sharing this journey with you guys because you allow a different perspective for other people that are doing this too. I also love the masticating juicer for the almond milk benefits, and I have videos on all this stuff. You guys can check it out. Almond milk, ice creams, you can make almond butter. Like, it's really cool what a masticating juicer allows you to do. Have your own juicery at home. You can meal prep things. You can set yourself up with a week worth of juice if you wanted, 3 to 5 days of juice. You can bottle these things, and I always link the 17-ounce dairy bottles that are similar to ours. You guys always ask about the bottle. So whether you're making celery juice or you're juicing stuff out of your garden, and all this spring we are going to dive into a whole garden for juicers. So cucumbers, kale, all your liquid bases that you buy at the grocery store, you can grow those really easy at home and set yourself up for a summer full of just nutrient. You can pack your fridge full of stuff. Really excited to share the garden aspect. This is turning into like an hour-long video. So if you were jumping into this today, I would recommend getting some good quality organic celery, getting a decent juicer, whether it's masticating or centrifugal, and doing this for a week with intentionality and knowing that you might experience some detox symptoms. I know a lot of people, you guys message me over on Instagram. I know a lot of people probably aren't coming from such a clean background, so I've been transitioning to a healthier lifestyle for 4 to 5 years. I know a lot of people are coming from a spot that isn't so clean, so the detox symptoms, they can be extremely rough. When I started Bulletproof Coffee, I was going through symptoms that were just, it was miserable. Taking an absorbative like activated charcoal, I'm sure you guys have seen activated charcoal waters out there, black waters, all those things. Bulletproof activated charcoal is the best charcoal that I've found. You can also take bentonite clay mixed in some water. That's a cheaper alternative. But taking that 30 minutes after, so really giving that 30-minute buffer once you drink your celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach is going to allow it to do its thing before we go putting anything else into our bodies. So waiting that 30 minutes and then taking your absorbative just to be safe. You'd probably be safe taking it with the celery, but just to be sure that you're really giving your body the chance to absorb the celery juice and do its thing. And then going in with that absorbative really helps our body kind of exit and flush out all those toxins. So the charcoal grabs onto all those bad things, all that crap that is dying from the alkaline environment, and helps it exit our bodies so it's not sticking around. And committing to doing the celery for a week, and committing to eating clean foods, alkaline foods, even like mono meals of just safe starches, lots of healthy fats, sweet potatoes, avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, good quality rice, organic potatoes, bulletproof coffee. This is a lot of things that I was eating when I was on my celery juice challenge, and trying to avoid the processed foods, the sodas, the fast food options. If we can encourage and really help our bodies to do what the celery juice is trying to do, I feel like we will get a lot more benefits a lot faster. And be prepared to detox. It's a quick transition. Like an alkaline diet is a much gradual, slower transition. And when you're putting a liquid form of juice, alkaline, we are like mainlining those nutrients and those salts into our digestive system and our cells and our guts. Be prepared to experience some cleansing. I hope it isn't too rough. I know a lot of people out there are trying to heal, and this seems to be a good accessible option for a lot of you guys. And I hope that you take action and really give it a shot. If you don't want to mess with juicers or anything like this at all, try and find a local organic juicery in your area that is preparing this fresh and not pasteurizing it, and it's organic. This is pretty hard to find. I don't know how accessible this would be to a lot of people. If the juice you're buying has a longer shelf date than 3 to 5 days, it's been pasteurized. So I wouldn't recommend buying it. Pasteurized juice has lower nutritional value. It's been heated up, or it's been pressure pasteurized, so it can be wholesaled, or so it can sit on a shelf longer. Unfortunately, the pasteurizing methods can't distinguish between good bacteria and live enzymes, and not bacteria, good minerals and vitamins and live enzymes, and bad pathogens and scary things. So everything is zapped, basically. There are some vitamins and minerals that make it through, like vitamin C, through the pasteurization process, but I prefer to drink my juice organic and fresh, which I think a lot of people do. So if you can find a juicery that's willing to make it for you fresh and local and kind of get you set up on a system and plan, definitely do that. I know a lot of people are sick and don't have the energy or resources to make it at home for themselves. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this 30-day celery juice summary. All the things that I've learned over this 30 days. Definitely worth trying. I think the call to action here is to commit to do it for a week, really see how you feel, be prepared to detox, and have that absorptive ready if your detox symptoms are just awful. If you have questions, shoot them my way. Over on Instagram is the best place to reach me. I hope that me documenting this whole experience allows for you guys to kind of find the healing that you need. But we are here to help y'all live healthier lifestyles. We've been there, done that. It's not fun to feel like a stranger in your own body, so definitely take your own health into your hands, take action, go out and do something that is good for you today. If you guys are looking for daily motivation to kind of live a healthier lifestyle, garden inspiration, juicing, definitely check out the channel, subscribe, stay a while. We have lots of fun things planned. We are getting ready to dive into our big 3-day summer cleanse. I'm nervous to do a 3-day juice cleanse. I've never done a 3-day juice cleanse, but I'll be bringing you guys along for that. I'll be bringing you guys along for all the garden stuff. My seed comes Friday, so I'll be sharing that with you guys, that unboxing. Lots of fun things to come. It's spring. It's almost garden season. So excited. Thank you guys for following my health journey. I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.